What's going on? What? What? Are you being for real? I kind of wish I was joking. I don't wish I was joking here. This feels like any sort of logical person. You look at me and you look at, oh, I can do this summer. I can't do this summer. My God, I don't know what the hell's going on, people. Logic is out the window. I've looked at numbers, I've researched, but I've got absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm going to try and keep on top of this, get involved, because a big bomber news has just come from David Ornstein here. I don't even know what to make of this anymore. The chat is going to be absolutely wild because this has just come out that Manchester United, from David Ornstein himself, Man United have contacted Brighton via intermediaries to explore conditions of a deal for Carlos Baleba. Brighton don't plan to sell, and all sides are aware that move may be unrealistic, but United are keen and should know. I tell you what, Ineos have pulled the wool over our eyes. They pulled the wool over anybody's eyes. I can do this. I can't do that. Oh, this is our budget this summer. Sod that, man. I tell you what, United are firing. Yeah, we're firing up the credit cards, but I tell you what, they are. Let me read through the full story here. Because this is not something that... Bloody hell. I did the video earlier saying, even in your wildest dreams, you wouldn't have imagined this summer that United have got Cunha and Mbumo and Šeško, and then all of a sudden, the Baleba stuff comes out. Let me read what the story is. And by the way, Fabrizio Romano's confirmed it as well. What is going on, Danny Jones? I ain't got no idea. The logical part of me has completely gone out the window here. We're in pure football fantasy. Give yourself 100 million. Why not mode? That's what this is lining up to be. United contact Brighton to explore the conditions of a Carlos Baleba move, right? Man United have made contact with Brighton via intermediaries to explore the conditions of a deal for Carlos Baleba. The 21-year-old, who's got 3 years left in his contract, is emerging as one of the most highly rated players in his position, and Brighton do not intend to sanction a sale this summer. But interest is building, and United are among many suitors, which has now been relayed. Brighton made clear they favour holding on to him. There is also recognition on all sides that a switch now may be unrealistic. Is this United simply doing a bit of legwork ahead of what could happen next summer? Or is this United maybe thinking, you know what, lads? You know what we could do here? We could, find a club for Casemiro. We could do this. You could sign him. Someone's asking, how are we doing this? Look, if I try and take a step back to analyse this, United, in terms of the spend this summer that's gone out of the club this summer, in terms of PSR, Cunha got added to last year's. So that doesn't count, which means that the only actual outlay so far this summer in terms of PSR is one instalment on Brian and Mbumo, so probably about 17.5 mil. You imagine the same sort of thing would happen as far as Benjamin Šeško concerned. If it's 85 million euros and 80 millions up front, call it 20 million euros because it's easy. So that's probably the best part of 35-ish million. And then Carlos Baleba on top of that. I don't even know what's going on. I don't really think they'll sell. And I've always said, this is highly unrealistic. But I'm putting these back on, baby. What's the story? I've already read through that. Fabrizio Romano saying Manchester United have approached Carlos Baleba's camp this week to be informed on the player's situation. Brighton plan to keep Baleba at the club as the price tag would be very high and it is seen as a difficult deal. But United, they plan to try and get a new midfielder. And, mate, United aren't shopping in the bloody bargain basement here, people. My God. Man United are going nuts. Going nuts. I mean, come on. Don't ever go at my glasses. Tom, you like them. They're a bad boy set of glasses. Let me see what you're saying down here. A couple of super chats firing in. Get involved in the chat because this is going to be a very fun 40 minutes, I imagine. Alex is saying, I'm sorry for not being Baleba to start. I am now. Well, I actually had Wharton down as my dream signing. I tell you what, that video I did early this summer, you know how every year I do a video, I'm like, oh, this is my dream summer. And it goes absolutely nowhere near it. This is real. This is absolutely real. My God. Spider, you're saying the best part about this is if it's not possible, we move on to the next option immediately because there's no time. All right, I'm going to put a poll up, right? I never thought I'd be doing this. Do you think United will sign Baleba this summer? Yes or no? Simple poll. See, this is the stupid part. Why do I even listen to the logical part of my brain anymore? I didn't think this was going to even be a conversation. So obviously there's a chance that we could sign him. Isn't there? Mate, this is mad. This is beyond anything that any United fan could have imagined. Really, really is. Who's best, Wharton or Baleba? Well, we could ask that in a different poll later. Mate, I'm not making this up. I'm really not making this up. Is Jim not listening to United People's TV? Well, I slagged him off this morning, so probably not. Well, I slagged him off a fair bit, to be fair. You know, deserved criticism where it's due. Guy Bread Man, thank you for gifting some memberships down there. It's all going a bit crazy down there. What's this? Manly saying, where are all the guys who said I'm out of my mind for saying we're going to sign Baleba and Šeško? Hey, look, come back with the receipts there, mate. This feels like 2021 excitement levels. I can't remember who we signed there. Look, in terms of people asking me, saying, what's going on? Like, it's kind of how I described it at the start of the video. This just feels like you're cheating at the start of a Football Manager game and you just give yourself an extra 200 mil because you can. Anyway, sorry, man, I want to have a bit of fun. Doesn't make any logical sense. I haven't actually got no money, but sod that, I'm going to give that to me. My God. What? You know what it is, right? If I try and step back and think, what's actually going on at United? In terms of the financials, I'd love to be able to explain this to you. I'm in the dark. I'm properly in the dark about this. Deadly serious. I've looked at all the numbers and knew that United had 70 million cash. I knew that we had 140 mil in the credit card. There's a chance, by the way, and I covered this morning, that United have actually drawn down. And actually, we have more than 140 mil to spend on the credit card, which is not a sustainable way to spend. It's not how the future of our club is going to be resolved. It's just going to drag us back into the hole. But effectively what United are doing this summer, even before Baleba, bloody hell, is we're probably going to be taking on more credit, more interest, with the premise that that is going to create a football team that is therefore going to accelerate and get to the end goal faster. You know, everyone who's been saying, well, we know what Project 150 is. Can you imagine, right? Behind the scenes, they're talking to Cunha and they're saying about what could happen this summer. And he's excited and he buys into the project. Do you think they'll be sort of explaining this? Oh, by the way, right, the intentions, Mateus, this summer, right, we're signing you first. Going to be going after Brian and Boomo next, who we think is a very complimentary partner. And we're probably going to be signing a striker on the levels of, I don't know, like a Gyökeres or a Šeško on top of that. And then after that, we're probably going to go and sign the most exciting young midfielder that the league has to offer. And that picture is going to put a smile on quite a lot of your faces, because that right there, I don't know what's going on with the poll there. What's that doing? 0 votes. Right, I'll do that poll again. That's a bit weird. Poll broke. That right there is, you're looking at a decade of midfield there, really. Bruno Fernandes is the present. Bruno Fernandes isn't going to be here in the long-term future. I've already said this, and I don't mean this I really, really do not mean this in a disrespectful way, because you know how much I love Bruno Fernandes. But I felt like the reason I wanted Bruno to stay so much this summer is because I think we needed his leadership and his presence in this team whilst we're going through this summer and this season with Amorim. But I did think it was going to be a possibility and an option that from next summer onwards, the Man United could shake hands and move Bruno on and then go here. Could we do it a year early? Yeah, YouTube is crashing, I tell you what. Right, let me try that poll again. Right. Do you think we'll sign Baleba? You know what, right? It's karma for me, because I was in the bloody queue for Macca's. I was in the queue for Macca's. I literally just got up to the booth, and I'm ping, and I was like, what? She was like, can I take your order? I'm like, nah, Man United are in talks for Baleba. Can I also have a double cheeseburger? True story, right? The poll's working now, I think. This is crazy. If anybody's just tuning in, welcome aboard. This is the second live today, and this is, hey, we've had some cracking live shows this summer. We've had some surprises this summer. This is, mate, come on. You're not going to get a bigger surprise than this. You're really not going to get a bigger surprise than this. Someone's saying, would you move Bruno on if you don't know? Bruno's here for a season. It would be a case of Bruno dovetailing with Mainu. It would be games sometimes where Kobe starts, because Kobe, in my opinion, is a number 8 and is in that Bruno mould. But Baleba? Mate. I feel like I'm laughing. I really, really feel like I'm laughing. Can't do my zip up. People, let me see if any other news is breaking around this, because this has just come out here. My God. I'm trying to think of what are United doing behind the scenes from a financial perspective. How is this even conceivable? How is this possible? Because I think even with the credit facilities, it feels nonsensical. It feels nonsensical. But obviously it isn't. Like if we're speaking to Brighton, do you think that's us just getting the conversation started first? We're first there ahead of next summer. Maybe, maybe not. It's a couple of super chats. JC, man. You hero. Gifting 50. Man, everybody welcome aboard. There's going to be lots of new faces here. Join this community. It is the spot to be, and it's going to be next season. Sean saying if we get him top 3 is a must. Well, top 6 is the aim this season. But boy, oh boy. If you really tell me, let me get this picture up here. If you really are telling me that Manchester United's first 4 signings this summer could be these 3, and then that man, my God. I honestly don't think, I don't think you can do better. I really, really don't think you could do better. Like, I had Adam Wharton down as my dream signing this summer. And I think I was umming and ahhing between the two of them. But if you're talking about, the dynamism that Amorim wants, the athleticism that Amorim wants, Baleba's going to be like he's going to be like Pete Kante for like the next few years, isn't he? That is the most prized. Would you say that's the most prized player in the Premier League? Kante at his peak, Caicedo when he went to Chelsea, and now Baleba. Would you say like they are the single most? I mean, the value of Caicedo would suggest so. It was a British record fee, wasn't it? 115 mil. I mean, it feels impossible, but bloody hell, who am I to say now that any deal for him is impossible? When I'm looking at this going, well, Cunha, yeah, that was good. We got in there early. And boom, it felt quite unlikely. Boom, we've gone and got him. Šeško, definitely not going to happen. And we bloody signed, well, I suppose we haven't signed Šeško yet, but we're waiting for the here we go. That's going to be happening probably the next 24 hours. Susie, you're down there saying that is the exact player we want. Honestly, I don't think you could find a better player. Obviously, you play the Premier League tax, you play the everything tax, but you also just sign, mate. Brighton, can we just have a jealous round of applause for Brighton's bloody scouting department? They were in talks, and Liverpool was sniffing around Caicedo, and so were Chelsea. Big bidding war. Let's just go and sign a lad from, was it Lille? How much they pay for him? I don't even know how much they pay for him. And then what? A year? Is he only been at Brighton for a year? I don't even know. I really don't know. Someone down there saying the fact that we're in for him means we have the means to pay it. And that I would absolutely agree with. We know how United have operated this summer, right? We didn't, well, Cunha was easy. And Bumo, 3 main players that we bid for. We obviously bid for Delap and we didn't get him, but that's because he chose Champions League football. Well, you're going to regret that now, mate. I reckon Liam Delap's sitting there going, someone down there saying if we get Baleba, it's a 10 out of 10 window. Everyone get it in the chat. If we do sign him, what would you rate the window out of 10? 35 mil for 2 years ago. Thank you very much. That's what has been said down there. Right, let me see what the chat's saying. If we've got nearly 4,000 votes are in, everyone's getting involved. 67% of you are saying, yes, we sign him. And I can't disagree with you. You know how I operate here on United People's TV, or just kind of how I operate about transfer news. I try not to get too excited at little tidbits of news. I try and wait for a story to develop. I try and wait until it's sort of something that I feel is worth your time, rather than just feeding transfer gossip to you. But this was an absolute. This is the biggest of grenades. No one saw this coming. Not even in our wildest dreams. And that's after Šeško, which I thought was fantastic. I can see down there, everyone is popping. Ian, you're saying 9.5 out of 10. 9 out of 10, someone saying down there. 10 out of 10. Window smashed. Brighton signed it for 30 mil. Thank you very much. Yeah, heard that down there. Klein, hey, look, no one can deny about the pull of Manchester United. Honestly, someone's going to have to do some sort of bloody study on this. Like the mythical pull of Manchester United. We haven't won the league in 12 years, people. And won the Champions League in 17 years. Grim. We just finished bloody 15th. Man, can we just all like take a second to just to thank Fergie? My God, that the work that he did has resisted the abysmalness that has followed. It was that powerful. He built such a superpower of a football club that even near 2 decades on from winning the Champions League last, after a season where we finished 15th, we've gone out and had these 3, and now United are actually trying to figure out. Now, someone down there saying, are we dreaming? I've never seen anything like this in terms of it just feeling like you're playing a game of FIFA. But it's real life. It is real life. It really does feel like Man United are going out all out this summer, Aloysius. I actually said that earlier. I think I said it 2 weeks ago. It does feel like United are doing it. It might even mean, hey, look, I don't know the numbers. I don't know the figures. So you can only speculate in this sense. But United may well just be going, you know what, screw this. Yeah, take the fine. Sod that. Put ourselves up above. Take it. It will put us in a better position. I don't particularly think they would do that. Liam, look, I'm not even going to get into an argument about Ineos and the Glazers and trying to put Ratcliffe in the same category as the Glazers. Like, I really think the 1958 was so wrong to do that, man. Like, the damage that those scumbags did to our football club, and to try and compare it to anything that's happened in the last year is just totally downplaying the 20 years of damage that have happened. Someone's saying down there, Sam, when you're big, you're big. And, mate, we are seeing this in real time this summer. Fans of other clubs, it's been a long time since we've really been able to say that. Fans of other clubs are looking at us just kind of pissed off with Manchester United. That's our fuel. That's our energy. That's the energy we've lost because everybody instead has been laughing at us so much. They're almost pitying us. Gungshi, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. A couple of super chats and read these out, and I'll try and read some more of your chats, but it is popping. Harpo, you're saying, I get a feeling Brighton will want top dollar, but if we got him, 9.5 out of 10. You can see the poll down here. I'm going to do another poll in a sec. 68% of you are saying we'll sign him. I hope you're right, but I'm going to do a second poll now. I'm going to say this, right? If United do sign Baleba, what's the price, right? This is going to be an interesting poll. I personally don't think that you could, and I even think this is kind of no chance. 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, or 100 mil plus. I really don't think there's any chance of 70 to 80, by the way. I really, really don't. Someone's saying volume's a little bit low. It is a little bit low. Sorry about that. That should be a little bit better. Apologies. I think for some reason, because I got a bit excited, I started shouting. It turned it down a little bit. So that should be better now. I apologise about that. Thank you very much. Sometimes I do listen to the chat. Apologise for being a little bit quiet for the first 20 minutes. Someone saying, am I wrong for thinking that we should have gone for him before Šeško? Well, if you think about that, mate, have you seen anybody talking about Baleba? No. Have you seen anybody talking about Šeško? Yes. Newcastle, they had a fee agreed with Leipzig. So if we had not pulled the trigger exactly when we pulled the trigger on Šeško and we would try to go after, it would have been too late. Now, nearly it was too late, but United just valued the pull of United and valued the fact that he chose United, and it's exactly what happened. So I actually think in that sense, they've done it the right way around because it would have missed him. But I said earlier, it feels like United aren't done this summer. I said it feels like Manchester United are probably still going to go out and sign a midfielder and sign a goalkeeper. Never in a million years did I think that we'd be having a conversation about him. Let me see what you're saying down here in the poll. The early results on the poll. 2,000 votes from the first minute. Everyone's popping. Get involved. If you can, please do drop a like in the video and subscribe. Join the fam. Can't believe I just said fam. You should probably unsubscribe for that. 2,000 votes are in. 29% of you are saying 70. Ugh, I've got the burps now. 30% of you are saying 70 to 80 mil. I think fat chance. 28% of you are saying 80 to 90 mil. 26% are saying 90 to 100. And only 16% of you are saying 100 mil plus. Like, ladies and gents, I'm in that 16% gang. I just do this, and this is why, for the life of me, I've told, Jesus, I remember telling United fans, I think I've telling, what exactly did I say, right? Let me pull this bloody tweet up. Did anybody see this from David Ornstein? In terms of things that you thought you would ever see David Ornstein say, I never in a million years thought that would ever exist. David Ornstein saying after Indicalia. That feels like a complete joke in itself. That's got to go in like Football Twitter Hall of Fame or something. My word, that's insane. But what did I say to people down here when they were talking about Baleba a couple of days ago? Right, let me pull this. I'll leave this on screen here so you can see what the news is. Did it. There. This is what I said literally 2 days ago. And I thought I was being very, very reasonable. I said, people, get Baleba out your head. Brighton would ask for 100 million plus. Laugh at that if you want, but they will follow the exact same Caicedo playbook. That's what I felt. And maybe they will. Like, maybe they will. Maybe they will charge 100 mil, and maybe this won't go any further than intermediary conversations. Right? CM, you're saying, I like how the board is working, but I won't praise them. This is how they should be working. That's their job. All right, Roy Keane, calm down. You won't praise Ineos. You won't praise Manchester United's recruitment staff for going out the summer after we finished 15th and lost the Europa final to go out and sign Cunha and Bumo and Šeško. No, that's just their job. Like, boy, like, you're lying to yourself, mate. Like, seriously, you do not believe what you just typed there. You really, really don't. I was expecting United to, yeah, Cunha, we knew early, we knew that before the end of the season, that Cunha was going to happen. But even Bumo was surprised. And then Šeško on top of that, and then that on top of that. Manley saying Šeško, Baleba, and Donnarumma will be at United. Don't. Who am I to tell you that we're not going to be in for Donnarumma? Yeah, I still question whether he'd actually be the right goalkeeper. But is anybody off the cards? I don't even know. Paranormal Play, thanks for sending the in the sticker. Glennie saying apparently the 58 put out another tweet saying if people are going to do a survey to decide if they still want to include Sajim in the program. It was an odd choice. They've made their bed in that sense, and I don't particularly think that doing a poll is going to really change that. Surely we need a couple of sales, says Kieran. Mate, you could have said that at any other point this summer, couldn't you? Right? We needed sales before the bloody window started. Remember that we are still the only football club. Just making sure stuff's not breaking while we're live. We are the only football club who hasn't made a penny through sales yet. The only money we've made is through sell-on clauses. I think we've got about 20 million from the likes of Ilanga, Alvaro Fernandez. Someone down there saying, I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I think Kamara from Villa suits us better. Well, the fact that he's just signed a new contract probably puts an end to that one there, mate. Keithy saying, Arsenal put a lot of work into getting Rice. I doubt Baleba happens now, but maybe this is us putting the work in to get him in January or next summer. If I was to say, I don't know, my predictions, which have been spectacularly wrong, and I mean that in a good sense, because I underestimated what United actually had the ability to do. This feels like United getting their foot in the door with Brighton and Baleba, so that when next summer comes around, we're at the top, we're at the front of the queue, if you want to call it that. It may well be that, and in that sense, that's still a good thing. And maybe United we want Baleba. There's no way that we even reach out to them and start with intermediaries if we don't have the ability to do it. Right? Is that something you agree with? That's kind of how we've worked with any signing that we've done so far. And we've also made sure that all of them would want to sign. I suppose this is only through intermediaries, so it's not really gone too far yet. Andy's saying, do you think behind the scenes Ineos are agreeing a deal with Al Nassr to sell Bruno? No, I don't think so. Personally. I don't really think so. So Yami's saying, I understand your point, but I'm watching to some continuation moving forward and also want some sales. Man, we all want some sales, man. Yeah, Rapid saying, can you continue doing tweets about players we aren't signing? Right, who else we want to sign, peeps? Come on, let me know. I'll do some tweets saying there's absolutely no chance of us signing them. And then we'll go and sign them. Well, at least be in for them. Let me see what you're saying down there. This fan base is scarred. Don't worry, guys. We're getting in for sure. I wouldn't really say that we're getting in for sure. Yeah, addicts, Ineos want Premier League proven that they've shown that that's the strategy. Šeško is the risk, but I don't actually think it was the only possibility that we could have had. I personally think that we actually went in for Watkins, and Villa just outpriced him so much that we immediately shifted towards Šeško. Because remember, it was a 2-striker shortlist. Laurie Whitwell confirmed that. It was either going to be Watkins or Šeško. I think if he was the right price, I think we probably would have signed Watkins and then maybe be in for him. Someone talking about a tweet about Adam Wharton. God, don't be greedy here, people. We can't have Wharton and Baleba, right? Someone down there saying United acting like a big team again. I don't even know how to describe what I'm watching. For real. Right, what else is being said down here? See if there's any updates. This is live and direct, people, of course, so stuff can happen. This is one of those big ones. This is one of those big ones. What's being said down here? No, absolutely nothing else. What did you do today for this bomber from Ornstein? Well, I was in the queue at Macca's, that's why. I was fuming on the way back, spilling Fanta all over me. I got wet trousers, wet shorts actually, for being specific. Fabrizio's also confirmed it, by the way. We approached. What if he means we did it early this week rather than today? I don't quite know. CM saying looking forward to the deep dives into the signings. But we have had a busy summer. We are currently in the background. The team is working on the profile for Šeško. Also, next week we've got the season predictions going out. We're going to have what's United's best starting 11, which may well be changing. But I don't. I can't sit here and think that we're going to sign him. I'm just not used to it. Stephen, it's exactly what it is, right? All of us have been so scarred by what's happened at United over the last 10 years or so that we're all natural pessimists. We look at something and we go, it's not going to happen. We look at something and go, well, United won't do that. Look at something, well, United will probably mess that up. Because largely that's what we do. That's what we've got used to. There are kids who are, what? Get your maths right, Sam. 2012. So there are 13-year-old kids right now, might be some of you watching here, going, I've never seen United win the league. They're a joke of a football club. There's 13-year-olds who have no idea who Manchester United are, really. Well, we're certainly acting like it this summer. We are certainly acting like it this summer, and we are exceeding any sort of expectations. Ball Boy saying if Chelsea and City can cheat their way to trophies, then we should be allowed to spend. United are allowed to spend. It's just that the cash has been pillaged by the Glazers and the ownership of the football club. We've got the revenues to spend. That's not the issue. It's just the fact that you know about the losses, right? Someone down there saying, I will lose my head if we sign him. I don't even know what I'll do. I'm not streaking, though. I might have a couple more beers on here, though. Someone down there saying, Ali, you're 14. That's wild, man. There are teenagers. Maybe some of you are tuning in here. You've never seen United win the league. You have no idea what Manchester United did to every other fan base in this entire country and how much everybody hated us simply because of how damn good we were and how ridiculously consistent. One of the best stats that still exists about Fergie is he never finished outside the top 3 in the Premier League. You know how nuts that is? We finished inside the top 3? 3 times? Solskjaer did it. Mourinho did it. 3 times? 2 times? Psh. This is the biggest surprise so far this summer. I'm going to go to the poll and see what else you're saying. Yeah, can I say a big up to the mods? Everyone say big up to the mods in the comments because it is popping in here. It is absolutely popping. The energy that there was in the team meeting that we have earlier today. I said it was like a sixth form common room. Everyone was like, Ornstein bomb coming in at 8 in the morning about Šeško. Today, 6th of August. Well, you're going to remember this for the summer. I'll tell you that. If we do sign Baleba, what the price is going to be, we've got just under 6,000 votes. So big up to everybody for getting involved. 40% of you are actually saying 70 to 80 mil. And I'm going to call you all delusional. Just like I was telling people, there's absolutely no chance of us signing him this summer. Well done, Sam. So you might be right. I don't think you are. 26% 80 to 90 mil. 21% 90 to 100 mil. And 13% are saying 100 mil plus. And I'm going to pull that photo up again because that photo is dead exciting. In terms of a complementary partnership, bloody hell. Jeez. That's filth. That's absolute filth. And this season is kind of the exact place I see Kobbie Mainoo is not starting every week, and probably Bruno's not starting every single game. There will be some games where maybe Bruno drops to the bench. Maybe not too many games where Bruno drops to the bench. Oh, let's be completely honest. And now United are announcing, oh my God. I really wanted to go to this event. Really wanted to go. We talk about the future of Manchester United. We talk about looking forward. We talk about a new era. Man United literally just dropped this second. Carrington, where our new era begins. A new Carrington is being opened in 2 days' time. And I think Ruben Amorim spoke about this. Like in terms of timing. Coming back into a brand new... I suppose it's not brand new, right? It's the same shell, but it's a £50 million refurb of Carrington. For any player that's trained in the previous Carrington, they'll be like, hey, this feels nice. I like this. So that's getting announced on Friday. Oh my God. I can't go anywhere. No holidays happening in August. That's for sure. I'm not even allowed to go to Macca's. Someone down there saying, if we get Baleba and Donnarumma, I won't stop smiling. We're winning the league. We're not winning the league next year. All right, we're not winning the league. Screw it, winning the league. Winning everything. Winning the quad. What winning the league? No, Alex, the event's not open to the public. I tried to get access to it, but unfortunately, it's oversubscribed. So that they didn't have enough space for me. I was like, do you know what? No, I didn't say that. So unfortunately, I can't go to it. Right, let me read some more of your chat out. I like this new Arsenal losing to Villarreal. I don't know what's going on there. Spoon Arnie, great name. I've got a feeling we're going to do really well the upcoming season. I mean, look, if it doesn't work out with this one, then I'm taking up paddle full time. I don't really know. Big Mouse saying if we pull this off, it'll be easily Ineos's most impressive signing. Yeah, it really would be. I think everybody would agree on that. Daz, you're saying you worked on a Carrington job for 6 months. Get some inside scoop on that. But yeah, you can't even do a quad. We're not in European football. Sod it. Well, they'll make a trophy up so we can win that as well. Domestic treble. Look. Calm down. Step back. This is wild. This really is wild. All right. We haven't even got the Sheshko. Here we go. Bloody hell, you might see him in an hour and a half for another one. We'll be 4 Coronas deep on a Wednesday. Why not? It's a weekend. It feels like a weekend today. It's the same sort of energy as a weekend. But for anybody who's just tuning in, welcome aboard. You've missed an absolute perler of a show. David Ornstein has confirmed that Man United are in talks with intermediaries, well, via intermediaries, so basically in talks about a potential deal for Carlos Baleba. Now, it may well be that we reach the table and it's like, yeah, well, we're not selling him this summer unless you give us 100 and... They've won a British record, I think. They'll ask for 120 mil. And it may well be a case of, right, okay, we're not going to pay that this summer, but just know that we are first at the table. Right? Fabrizio Romano's confirmed it as well, saying United have approached his camp this week, so maybe it happened earlier than today. Brighton plan to keep him as the club price will be at the club, and the price will be very high. But United are signing a new midfielder after Sheshko. So if it's not Baleba, all right, I'll ask you down in the chat. This would be a good question to wrap up the last 5-10 minutes of the show. Let's say Baleba is going to be too much for United this summer, which the logical part of me tells me he will be. But, I mean, we wouldn't get in contact if we didn't think we could pay it. What other midfielder do you think we look at then? Because, boy, if we can have a conversation about Baleba, then there isn't a midfielder who's off the table. You can throw Wharton in there. You could... I mean, I had a video plan for next bloody week, man. To be looking at midfield options that I thought were reasonable in the like 30 to 40 million mark. I thought that was going to be where we were looking. Oh yeah, we may as well look. It's a good idea. We should probably go out and sign Tonali. We'll sign Bruno from Newcastle. Anyone else you want? They can have John McGinn, by the way. I'm not going after John McGinn. Ain't no way. I've stolen enough players off Newcastle. By the way, can I just say how much fun that live show was this morning and the intro on today's video? It's been a very fun day. A very fun day. Agent and Boomer incoming down. Someone says down there, we could buy Baleba in this financial year for next season to help on PSR. And that's the thing that we did with Cunha. Remember that So as long as you register players by June the 30th next year, they count on this year's accounts, and then everything after. That's how Cunha actually went across. Someone's saying Edison, Hayden Hackney down there. Buwadi. Is that Buwadi from Lille? Is it Lille? Played with Yora, didn't he? Luzhin Agumi. Was it Agumi? Agum? I can't remember his name. Onana. You know what I thought about Onana. But, mate, Baleba is just number one. Like, there is no question. There is no talking about it. Even if you weren't, like, you don't even need a scouting department to put him top of your list. You could almost say it's a bit lazy, really. But it's just, it's a big club move. That's what it is. Go out and sign the Fergie tactic. Go out and sign the best from the rest of the Premier League. I would say the best of the rest, but 14 teams are above us right now. Let's be totally honest. It's bloody everybody. But you go out and sign Cunha. You take the best player out of Wolves. You take the best player out of Brentford. Would you put him down as the best player in Brighton? I think you probably would. You might. Some Brighton fans might argue João Pedro. He's already gone. So maybe it could be him as well. What else are you saying down here? Man, this is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. Agent Yora and Mbumo, someone's saying down there. I think the chat's even breaking. I think this might be a record, today's show. I think it really might be. Chouameni down there. We are animation saying, Sam, do you think Garnacho to Chelsea is close? Garnacho to Chelsea is 50 million plus. I don't care what Chelsea try and do and lowball us. And I'll tell you one thing, right? As a kind of a sweeping statement. Wrong one. You know how clubs have been approaching Manchester United this summer when it comes to Garnacho, when it comes to Anthony? Clubs have been looking at United going, they're desperate. Yeah, you know what we can do here? Should we just take the piss? Should we just sort of like chill and wait to the end of the window and then we sign him? Yeah, should we do that? Yeah, and then we'll put in a bid for 30 mil. No, sod that. We'll just sign Anthony on loan. They won't be able to say no because they're desperate. They need the money. Looking at United going, huh? But you're desperate. How is it that you're going after? How are you signing Chelsea? What do you mean you're in talks for Baleba? I'm as confused as the next person. And I do this as my job. And I read and consume as much as I possibly can to keep you informed on United. And this is making my head wobble. In a good way. I'm used to United making my head wobble in all the wrong ways. This is just exceeding all expectations. We should ask for a refund on Anthony down. Someone says down there, Douglas Luiz on loan. It's also possible, but if you sign Baleba, do you really need Douglas Luiz on loan? Hillman, yeah, that's another possibility, of course. Tonali and Šeško, someone's saying down there. Looks like we have money after all. Look, we've always had the money because we've always had the credit card. I think it's just that from a sustainability perspective, Ineos didn't want to go down that path. But that, in terms of a compromise, and this is a big old compromise that we are seeing, kind of witnessing in front of us. Number one, Ineos could have approached this summer from a very diligent perspective financially, which is how they've operated so far, by the way. Making little cuts, mini cuts, every sort of cut everywhere to save money. If they had approached this summer in the same sense, we probably wouldn't have gone too far past Cunha. We would have probably signed Cunha, then looked probably to the loan market and probably pull some players out. You'd probably promote some youth players. But instead, like, we're coming in like big dick energy, just swinging it about. Right? Absolutely swinging it about. That's what we're doing this summer. With the intention of putting Manchester United back into the conversation. I'm so glad that Ruben Amorim is being given this chance with it. Hey, look, I thought Erik ten Hag deserved that chance, and unfortunately for him, it came whilst he was here. And then as it transpired, it didn't work out because it was a massive faux pas with that tactical switch. But Ruben Amorim is being given the chance. He's walking into a new Carrington with these new faces, and maybe that new face into a brand new training facility. This feels like, we've had our false dawns of rebuilds. This feels like the first page of something different. I don't know how long that journey is going to be. At all. I don't know whether it's going to work this season. At all. I don't know where we're going to be next season. At all. But it feels like the first part of something very, very different. That's the way it feels to me now anyway. Ball Boy saying, I've even heard you say this. Why do people think that last year wasn't an anomaly? We had 8 players out for different reasons, injuries and bad spells. I feel 21 now. Well, congratulations on your age, but I don't think 21's coming. Sam, we are united and should be having windows like this. We should demand it, not be thankful for getting 1 in 13 years. Dude, we've had cretins in charge of our football club. We've had cretins in charge of the credit card. The problem has been who was in charge of the... We've wasted $1 billion. Right? You know how much money we've wasted. You know how much money we've wasted. This is an absolutely popping live show. It's so much fun doing this. I really, really love it. Cheers to everyone who's having a drink, by the way. It's 20 to 8. You're allowed to. Sig, nice to see you there. Tuning in from South London. My guy. Sell Haaland to Newcastle. Ruben is being fully backed by Ineos. You know, one thing I would say there, right? One thing I would say there about Ruben's being backed by Ineos. And I really, truly believe this, okay? While I agree that Ruben is being backed by Ineos aren't buying for Ruben Amorim. Ineos are buying for Manchester United. All right? We're not buying specialists who can only work in a Ruben Amorim system. And if we leave, our balls, we've got to play 3 at the back. And there's so many players who now don't. That's not what's happening. We're here, we're speaking about players, and you know full well that Cunha and Mbumo and Šeško can fit in different systems. You know full well that Baleba could as well. We are buying for Manchester United here. So whatever happens in the future, and I hope that the future involves 20 years of Ruben Amorim, but even if it doesn't, we're getting the squad that will go through managers, and it won't be like, oh, we've got to start all again because we've been building a squad between... No, the vision of the football club is why we're signing players. Right? Frankie, you're saying try Modelo sometime. Modelo is my favourite beer in the world, but I can't bloody find it anywhere. Someone send 10 crates of that to the PO box. That'll be a dream. Although the PO box isn't working right now, so don't send anything there. That's my favourite beer, but it's not anywhere. Right, I'll read some more of your questions out. Manager being back, but these players fit the way Ineos want to play. That's what I feel. I really strongly feel about that. We're not just here talking about players being signed for Ruben. Although, conversely, both these two things can happen at the same time. We needed last season for the club, someone says down there, to see what we need to do in highlighting. I hope in the grand scheme of things we can look back at last season like that. I'm still a bit wounded by it. I'll be totally honest. So I can't exactly look at it yet. Can I just quickly pull this up again? David Ornstein, credited IndyCar with breaking the Baleba story. Man, that's really, that's so funny, man. Yeah, I know the Modeo's all over San Diego and all that jazz, but it's not here in England. It's really annoying, right? Someone said you can't wait for the season to start. Hey, boy, we are, 11 days away from that Arsenal game? I think it's fair to say that everyone's going to be a little bit excited about that. Right, 30 seconds and I'll wrap this up. Or we could probably be here all night. Ornstein's confirmed that we're in talks over Baleba. It's through intermediaries. Maybe we're just testing the waters, see how much he'll cost. But I agree with what quite a lot of you in the chat are saying. I don't actually think that United even have this conversation if they didn't think that there could be a chance of us signing him. Now, does that mean that more midfielders are going? Does that mean that more sales have to? We know that sales have to happen. All I know is we've got 25 days left until the window closes. And as exciting as it's been so far, that it really does feel like there's more coming. Now, can I just say a big thank you to everyone who tuned in. A big thank you to everyone who got involved in that chat. That was a cracking show. Whew. Drop a like on it. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And God knows what I'm going to be here with. I have no idea what the news is going to be. Enjoy yourself. Have a cracking evening. It feels nice to see Manchester United doing what they're doing in the market. And even more so because even the logical, practical part of me thought there was absolutely no chance of it happening. Take it easy, everyone.